Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. I did do a few things off stream. Got Blackwall's quest and did a few other things because I was dinking around with mods. Sorry. But mainly because I wanted to get different color to that armor and make a better armor. Do need to grind up elf root. I could install one mod, but I really don't want to. The mod I could install is interesting. Basically, it's if you think the mods I've installed so far have been cheaty, no, you don't know the words of cheaty. That mod allows you to buy an item that gets you infinite uses to get abilities. Hey, welcome Ryan. How are you? I'm not at the Deep Roads yet. The Deep Roads is an interesting area in this game. Now, I do have a question for you, Ryan. Do you ever actually use your horse? Can't wait till I get to Skyhold so I can actually tint this to look the way I want it. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. By the way, there are really cheatsy mods out there. Do you want to hear a few of the mods that I stumbled across? That at some point I will install them just to show people how absolutely bullshit they are. There's one that you can up the quality of these ingredients to 300%. Used to craft stuff. Yeah, they have 300% effectiveness.
Got to be something here.
I think the Inquisition could benefit from this.
Oh yeah, I have items for her. Here, have a new weapon. Oh yeah, I also made you some armor. You're at, I remember correctly, I think you're at the area where... It's not really underground, is it? It's, you're in that... Are you in a DLC, or are you in, that, big open wasteland that has a bunch of dwarven ruins everywhere? Because one of the DLCs kind of ventures into the Deep Roads a bit, if I remember correctly. Was that this game or was that a different game? I think it was this game. Yeah, it's one of the DLCs. I thought it was. It's not Trespasser. It's Jaza Hakan did. It's the other one. Descent? It's an interesting part of the game. Oh yeah, I remember the one that it is. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that. As you can see, I'm wearing the armor from it. I'm just doing some of the memories of the Grey. I'm leaving the Fallowmire shit because of Maltz Fallowmire and the fact that I need to get deft hand, deft tools. By the way, sigils aren't that good. Have you ever noticed that? They try to make these sigils things that you would actually want to use, and they made it stuff that was completely useless instead.
Good find.
We'll go do the ones here. The ones there I'll leave at some other point, because there's no point to those. Until I get deft hand, or whatever the fuck that one is. For unlocking stuff, there's no point. Then I have to go do In Hushed Whispers anyways. Let's see, it's just right over here. There's a lot of things I like about this game. I just don't appreciate grinding again and again and again after you do this shit. It's one of the reasons why I like new game pluses.
Good find.
Because, you know, if you spend like 100+ hours in a game and you grind it up and did almost everything in the game, and then you go back through and you're just like, oh look, while the golden nug gets you a little bit of that, it doesn't get you the mats you farmed. Oh no, I'm talking about the mats. The mats are the thing that I can't stand to grind again. You don't want to know how many hours I spent trying to grind up mats for armors and stuff like that. That is what I'm against right now.
I think the Inquisition could benefit from this.
That is just the thing I don't want. Other than that, I'm fine with grinding shit. Like, some of the herbs, don't mind grinding. The rarer of the herbs, I don't want to have to run in and out again and again and again of an area. It's just stuff that's going to make the game take like 15 times longer than I want it to. That I'm not doing. All I'm saying. You know, some of those things where you spent way too much time doing in previous playthrough. It's those type of things that I don't want to do again. Other than that, I don't mind grinding up like some of the elf root and stuff like that for crafting potions. That I don't mind. Tier 3 and Tier 4, but that's a little bit do mind.
I could be with you. Would that I could. Right. That's why.
I need Rash Vine. For the most part, the simplest of ones are easy to do. The hell does this guy sell? Crescent's Shadow. Empty Grip. Rune. Why is it crafted? That's not what I was talking about. Like, not hard. No, no, no. You completely misunderstand. Like, sorry, I have tons of mats right now because I bought them all. Ha 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 ha. Would it be other? No. Runes? No. Would it be under metals? This is what I'm talking about. Trying to get stuff like this. I spent hours trying to farm like fade touched shit. Shit that I thought was interesting. Didn't get enough of it. Yeah, that's what I wished. At least so I could carry over my mats. That's all I want. I don't care about other shit. The mats that I farmed ridiculously, that's what I would want transferred. Because do you know how hard it is to re-get a lot of those mats? Especially like dragon bones and shit. Because there's only a limited amount in the game. What? You like the amount of fade touched shit I had there for silver, right? It's my favorite one. I spent about 5 hours farming fade touched. Yeah, and that's why I use the mod, so I can pick those up. The mod places it in this area. You can have it where you actually pay regular prices for it, or get it for 0. I grabbed it for 0 from that shop. The reason why is because the fade touched take way too much time. No, wait. It was that shot, I think. Maybe? Plausible. And for me, it's like, I spent a lot of time just trying to farm the fade touched shit. That's all I did. And that's what I meant by it can take way too long. That's it. It can, just because of that. And fuck Tevinter. Sorry. That's just the main reason.
Welcome, agents of the Inquisition.
Yeah, but
First
you get my
encounter Vivienne?
point. It's like,
My
you
dear
don't
Fiona,
get
It's been
enough.
so long since we last spoke. You look
In my opinion.
dreadful. Are you sleeping well?
What has brought you to Redcliffe?
We're here because of your invitation back in Val Royeaux.
You must be mistaken. I haven't been to Val Royeaux since before the Conclave.
If it wasn't you who invited me here, who was it?
I don't know. Now that you say it, I feel strange. Whoever or whatever brought you here, the situation has changed. The Free Mages have already pledged themselves to the service of the Tevinter Imperium.
Fiona, dear, your dementia is showing.
As one indenture to a Magister, I no longer have the authority to negotiate with you.
The Divine's corpse is barely cold, and you've already joined the Imperium?
Most of Cedas blames us for the Divine's death. The Templar attacks grew worse, and we mages had no allies. Either my people made a last stand here in Redcliffe, or we took the only offer of help extended to us. I had to save them. I had no other choice.
Welcome, my friends. I apologize for not greeting you earlier.
I'm gonna kill this
Agents
asshole.
of the Inquisition, allow me to introduce Magister Girion Alexius.
The Southern Mages are under my command. And you are the survivor, yes? The one from the Fade?
There's a lot of things that they could have made
Interesting.
easier in the game.
I haven't seen any sign of Redcliffe's Arl or his men.
The Earl of Redcliffe left the village.
Left? An Arl would never voluntarily leave his seat.
There were tensions growing. I did not want an incident.
I'd like to know more about this alliance between the rebel mages and the Imperium.
Certainly. What specifically do you wish to know?
The Grand Enchanter told me she was indentured to a Magister.
Our southern brethren have no legal status in the Imperium. As they were not born citizens of Tevinter, they must work for a period of 10 years before gaining full rights. As their protector, I shall oversee their work for the Imperium.
I'm not clear on when exactly you negotiated this arrangement with Fiona.
When the Conclave was destroyed, these poor souls faced the brutality of the Templars, who rushed to attack them. It could only be through divine providence that I arrived when I did.
It was certainly very timely.
What does the Imperium gain from taking rebel mages under its wing?
For the moment, the southern mages are a considerable
Blackwall.
expense.
You and
After
your
they
thing
are
for
properly
Blackwall.
trained, they will join our legion.
You said not all my people would be military. There are children, those not suited.
And one day I'm sure they will all be productive citizens of the Imperium when their debts are paid.
You're quite a long way from Tevinter, Alexius.
Indeed I am, though I have heard you are no Ferelden either. It seems we are both strangers
I have a
here.
beard. Psh.
Felix, would you send for a scribe, please? Pardon my manners. My son Felix, friends. I'm not surprised you're here. Containing the breach is not a feat that many could even attempt.
Yeah.
There is no telling
I do
how
have a
many
beard.
mages would be needed for such an endeavor. Ambitious, indeed.
Well, when you're fighting a massive tear in the sky, you can hardly afford to think small.
There will have to be. Felix,
My lord, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
are you all right?
I'm fine, father.
Come, I'll get your powders. Please excuse me, friends.
Why do you
We
keep
will have to
saying
continue
that?
this another time. Fiona, I
Plus, I don't
require
know if
your
you're a guy or
assistance back
girl.
at the castle.
I don't mean to trouble everyone.
I shall send word to the Inquisition. We will conclude this business at a later date.
I have no idea what that means.
Come to the Chantry. You are in danger.
Wow, aren't we secretive?
We'll be careful, but we need to figure out what's going on here.
Also, you're talking to a guy that currently has his shirt off. Well, I wouldn't on this computer anyways. Maybe on my laptop.
Magister Alexius does not approve of those without magic like you and me. You may not wish to stay long. Many villagers have already left to escape his ire.
This village has a history with mages.
During his young boy, the hero of Ferelden, defeated the demon and stopped the undead horde.
What is the matter?
He does not like to be reminded. He says all tranquil must leave Redcliffe, but who would take us? The hero of Ferelden defeated the demon and...
How long?
Magister Alexius arrived at nightfall, 2 days after. He forced anyone without magic out of the castle, save even the Arl was sent away. I am an alchemist. You must require potion.
We would be delighted to have you working.
Thank you. While one lives...
Inquisition, huh? I wish to Holy Andraste you'd gotten here sooner. These Tevinters make my
I'm
shoulder
6 feet
itch.
tall, so...
Who are you?
If you're not summoning demons, I figured I'm better off with my fellow mages than on my... Magic or no. It was a stroke of luck.
Anyways, my dwarf has a beard too. I can keep up. I'm good at keeping up. Oh, yeah. I think this is where you get Thorian, isn't it?
Take care. Hello again.
Take care of yourself.
Take care.
Trouble with a darkspawn? What glitch are you having exactly? Because I might be able to tell you the workaround around it.
Good. You're finally here. Now help me close this, would you?
You might have to load back farther. It might just be one of the things.
How does that work exactly? You don't even know, do you? You just wiggle your fingers and boom. Rift closes.
Who are you?
Ah, getting ahead of myself again, I see. Dorian of House Parvus, most recently of Minrathous. How do you do?
Let one Tevinter in. Suddenly they're scurrying out of all the walls like roaches.
Now, I'm ever so much more handsome than a cockroach. Magister Alexius was once my mentor, so my assistance should be valuable, as I'm sure you can imagine.
I was expecting Felix to be here.
I'm sure he's on his way. He was to give you the note, then meet us here after ditching his father.
Alexius couldn't jump to Felix's side fast enough when he pretended to be faint. Is something wrong with him?
He's had some lingering illness for months. Felix is an only child, and Alexius is being a mother hen, most likely.
Be me?
Are you a magister?
All right,
straight, so.
let's say this once. I'm a mage from Tevinter, but not a member of the Magisterium. I know Southerners use the terms interchangeably, but that only makes you sound like barbarians.
You're betraying your mentor because...
Alexius was my mentor. Meaning he's not any longer, not for some time. Look, you must know there's danger. That should be obvious even without the note. Let's start with Alexius claiming the allegiance of the mage rebels out from under you. As if by magic, yes? Which is exactly right. To reach Redcliffe, before the Inquisition, Alexius distorted time itself.
I hope that's less dangerous than it sounds.
More.
Manipulating time itself? Many have attempted over the ages, but never once succeeded.
The rift you closed here. You saw how it twisted time around itself, sped some things up and slowed others down. Soon, there will be more like it, and they'll appear further and further away from Redcliffe. The magic Alexius is using is wildly unstable, and it's unraveling the world.
You're asking me to take a lot on faith.
I know what I'm talking about. I helped develop this magic. When I was still his apprentice, it was pure theory. Alexius could never get it to work. What I don't understand is why he's doing it, ripping time to shreds just to gain a few hundred lackeys.
He didn't do it for them.
Took you long enough. Is he getting suspicious?
No, but I shouldn't have played the illness card. I thought he'd be fussing over me all day. My father's joined a cult, Tevinter Supremacists. They call themselves Venatori. And I can tell you one thing. Whatever he's done for them, he's done it to get to you.
Alexius is your father. Why are you working against him?
For the same reason Dorian works against him. I love my father, and I love my country. But this? Cults? Time magic?
How do you not love me?
What he's doing now is madness.
I'm so
For his
amazing.
own sake. You have to stop him.
It would also be nice if he didn't rip a hole in time. There's already a hole in the sky.
Why would he rearrange time and indenture the Mage Rebellion just to get to me?
They're obsessed with you, but I don't know why. Perhaps because you survived the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
You can close the rifts. Maybe there's a connection. Or they see you as a threat.
If the Venatori are behind those rifts or the breach in the sky, they're even worse than I thought.
Do you have any suggestions?
You know you're his target. Expecting the trap is the first step in turning it to your advantage. I can't stay in Redcliffe. Alexius doesn't know I'm here, and I want to keep it that way for now. But
Well,
whenever
then
you're
feed
ready
them.
to deal with him, I want to be there. I'll be in touch. Oh, and Felix, try not to get yourself killed.
There are worse things than dying, Dorian.
Now I have to choose which side I take in hushed whispers, or... Give me a split second. Trying to remember, there was something I need to do. Fuck, Crustwood. Got Ritz, Tanner I got. Veils Irregulars. East Red Bandits, Hunger in the Elements, Apostates Healing. Skilled Refugees. Okay, I gotta do that. God Enchanter, got Master Tenet. Clements. Speaker Annias I got. Lord Barrand I got. Still feed them. So it's Clements the Yeah, Clemens is the Tranquil. So I got Clemens. Now I have to go get Vale's Irregulars. Then I'll leave this area. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get all the agents possible in this area before I leave. I always choose the mages.
Of course.
My main issue with the Templars is that they're so brought up on strictness and they see so much, and the way they are trained creates them to be more of a problem than a solution.
You've done amazing work out. Thanks to you, the Inquisition might be able to make use of them. If you had a mind to.
Some of these people have skills that can help the Inquisition. See if any of them want to volunteer.
I'm sure we'll get some good recruits out. I'll go now. These people.
Yeah, I know people. I'm loved. Love me, love me. Love me or hate me. Because I'm too sexy for me. What? Too sexy for me, huh? The main issue with the Templars is the Templars take things too far, in my opinion. So it goes like this. After playing all the games, the things I see with the Templars is they view magic as evil. Yet, on the counterpart, the person that created the religion they follow for the Chantry was a mage, who said magic must help man. So what the Templars should do is work with, keyword,
seems odd.
with.
I can see them breaking the Chantry's chain, but not running from the fight.
With. I'm not wearing a shirt. But basically, with, the mages, and they should make sure the mages are working to help the betterment of people instead of, you know, having the magic rule over the mages themselves. That should be their main job, but they should be working with the mages to make everything better instead of the way they're doing it.
Do you need anything more?
The way they're going into it is counterintuitive. More than likely, once the circle was set up originally, it was probably working pretty well. In a lot of places, this was probably good. In places, it was probably not as good, but that's the issue.
We don't have the manpower to take the castle. Either we find another way in, or give up this nonsense and go and get...
Redcliffe is in the hands of a Magister. This cannot be allowed to stand.
The letter from Alexius asked for the Herald of Andraste by name. It's an obvious trap.
We can't waste time fighting among ourselves. We have to come to an agreement.
A Tevinter Magister controls Redcliffe, invites us to the castle to talk, and some of us want to do nothing.
Not this again.
Redcliffe Castle is one of the most defensible fortresses in Ferelden. It has repelled thousands of assaults. If you go in there, you'll die. And we'll lose the only means we have of closing these rifts. I won't allow it.
But even Alistair eventually learned that mages weren't bad. He learned that both
Even if we could
the Templars
it would be for naught.
and the mages can be either good or evil depending on who.
Would provoke a war. Our hands are tied.
The Magister
has outplayed us.
We can't just give up. There has to be something we can do.
We cannot accept defeat now. There must be a solution.
Where is the Earl of Redcliffe? I'm sure he'd help us get his castle back.
After he was displaced, Arl Tegan rode straight for Dunrim to petition the Crown for help. I doubt he'll want our assistance once the Ferelden army lays siege to his castle.
Wait. There is a secret passage into the castle, an escape route for the family. It's too narrow for our troops, but we could send agents through.
Too risky. Those agents will be discovered well before they reach the Magister.
That's why we need a distraction. Perhaps the envoy Alexius wants so badly.
While the attention's on Kadash, we dismantle their trap. Dangerous, but it could work.
Fortunately, you'll have help.
This man says he has information about the Magister and his methods, Commander.
Your spies will never get past Alexius's magic without my help. So if you're going after him, I'm coming along.
The plan puts you in the most danger. We can't in good conscience order you to do this. We can still go after the Templars if you'd rather not play the bait. It's up to you.
Basically, how this game tries to make it is, the Templars are the easy people to get to. However, the hard people to get to are the mages. I also don't like the fact that they took over the castle. I'll have to take Sarah, and why not Blackwall? Don't like the fact that I have to take Dorian, but I'm not a big fan of Dorian. Just not. Sarah was... Sorry, that song's weird, but funny.
Announce us.
The Magister's invitation was for Master Kadash alone. The rest must wait here.
They have to accompany me. You wouldn't deprive me of my attachés, would you?
My Lord Magister, the agents of the Inquisition have arrived.
My friend, it's so good to see you again. And your associates, of course. I'm sure we can work out some arrangement that is equitable to all parties.
Are we mages to have no voice in deciding our fate?
Fiona, you would not have turned your followers over to my care if you did not trust me with their lives.
If the Grand Enchanter wants to be part of these talks, then I welcome her as a guest of the Inquisition.
Thank you.
The Inquisition needs mages to close the breach, and I have them. So, what shall you offer in exchange?
Later. Dorian's... It depends on your playstyle, Dorian.
Actually, I hoped you could tell me about these Venatori I'm hearing so much about.
He's dependent.
Where could you have heard that name?
I told him.
Felix, what have you done?
Your son is concerned that you're involved in something terrible.
So speaks the thief. Do you think you can turn my son against me? You walk into my stronghold with your stolen mark, a gift you don't even understand, and think you're in control. You're nothing but a mistake.
What do you know about the Divine's death?
It was the Elder One's moment, and you were unworthy even to stand in his presence.
Father, listen to yourself. Do you know what you sound like?
He sounds exactly like the sort of villainous cliché everyone expects us to be.
Dorian, I gave you a chance to be a part of this. You turned me down. The Elder One has power you would not believe. He will raise the Imperium from its own ashes.
That's who you serve? The one who killed the Divine? Is he a mage?
Soon, he will become a god. He will make the world bow to mages once more. We will rule from the Boric Ocean to the frozen seas.
You can't involve my people in this.
Alexius, this is exactly what you and I talked about never wanting to happen. Why would you support this?
Stop it, Father. Give up the Venatori. Let the Southern Mages fight the breach, and let's go home.
No, it's the only way, Felix. He can save you.
Save me?
There is a way. The Elder One promised, if I undo the mistake at the temple.
I'm going to die. You need to accept that.
Seize them, Venatori. The Elder One demands this man's life.
Your men are dead, Alexius.
You are a mistake. You should never
have existed. I'm daddy as fuck. Wow.
Blood of the Elder One. Where'd they come from? They're upon us here!
Oh, shut up.
Interesting. It's probably not what Alexius intended. The rift must have moved us to what? The closest confluence of arcane energy?
The last thing I remember, we were in the castle hall.
Let's see. If we're still in the castle, it isn't. Oh, of course, it's not simply where, it's when. Alexius used the amulet as a focus. It moved us through time.
That doesn't sound good.
It sounds terrible. Depending on when we are and what happened while we were away. Let's look around, see where the rift took us. Then we can figure out how to get back. If we can.
What was Alexius trying to do?
I believe his original plan was to remove you from time completely. If that happened, you would never have been at the Temple of Sacred Ashes or mangled his Elder One's plan. I think your surprise in the castle hall made him reckless. He tossed us into the rift before he was ready. I counted it. The magic went wild, and here we are. Makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, actually.
It just seems so insane.
I don't even want to think about what this will do to the fabric of the world. We didn't travel through time so much as punch a hole through it and toss it into the privy. But don't worry. I'm here. I'll protect you.
Kinky.
There were others in the hall. Could they have been drawn through the rift?
I doubt it was large enough to bring the whole room through. Alexius wouldn't risk catching himself or Felix in it. They're probably still where and when we left them. In some sense, anyway.
Alexius mentioned an Elder One in the hall. Do you know who he was talking about?
Leader of the Venatori, I suspect. Some magister aspiring to godhood. It's the same old tune. Let's play with magic we don't understand. It will make us incredibly powerful. Evidently, it doesn't matter if you rip apart the fabric of time in the process.
And what happens if we can't get back?
Then we get comfortable in our new present.
Look at all the red lyrium. all this red lyrium. By the way, I need to give you some skills. I think you're fire guy, right? Fire, maybe? We'll see. First things first is barrier. We'll have you be lightning.
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me. My tears are my sins, my sins, my sins. Andraste guide me, Andraste guide me.
What did they do to you?
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me.
They filled him up with red lyrium? That's what it seems like to me. Obviously, his timing was terrible. Sorry. Bad pun.
Alexius has made a dreadful mess of this place, hasn't he?
I didn't see this part of the castle.
It was covered in the tackiest carvings of wolves and dogs I'd ever seen. This is not an improvement.
Andraste, guide me. You can do that too, crazy bastard. Suck it. People playing with magic they don't understand. There has to be a method to research, otherwise you just end up fucking things up way more than you need to. There's Sarah and Blackwall.
Andraste, have mercy. You shouldn't be here. The dead should rest in peace.
It's really me. And I'm definitely not dead, Blackwall.
I was there. I saw you fall. Alexius' spell left nothing but ash.
You skipped over too much. Look at the poor man. Alexius' spell didn't kill us. It sent us forward in time. That's how we survived.
Forward in time? I don't understand.
If we get to Alexius, we can go back to the moment we left and stop all of this from happening.
Maybe I've just gone mad. If what you say is true, then this... everything I've been through, everything about this nightmare, is a mistake.
I should have been here, but we'll set things right.
Now I know I've gone mad. To set all this right. You can't imagine the things that happened after you died. The Elder One had the Orlesian Empress killed. And in the chaos that followed, his demon army invaded. The Inquisition was crushed. Anyone who refused to convert was killed. There's nothing left out there.
Stupid phone.
Once we go back, none of that will happen.
I hope you're right.
At least this time you can fight.
No. You can't be here. You're dead and they don't come back.
I'm not dead, Sarah. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Like I'm gonna believe some demon or whatever.
Oh, for the love of... No one's dead. Alexius used time magic.
Talk sense or shut it. I can't think about him.
I didn't mean to frighten you. I promise, it's really me. I'm here to stop this.
I don't know. There were so many. The day you died, I ran out of arrows making them pay. Then it didn't matter anymore. You got demons, and gods, and I've got a bow. And I want them to hurt. You're really here. I'll freaking die to spit in their faces.
From what I've heard the guards say, Alexius never leaves the throne room these days.
Makes sense. So, what's everyone doing? Because no one's talking in stream right now. Little worry. And people wonder why I don't like him. Spin the weed. Fiona.
You're alive. I saw you disappear into the rift.
I don't understand. What's happened to you?
Red barium. It's a disease. The longer you're near it, eventually you become this. Then they mine your corpse for more.
Can you tell us the date? It's very important.
Harvest Mir. 942 Dragon.
942? Then we've missed an entire year.
We have to get out of here. Go back in time.
Please, Stop this from happening.
Well, that's good.
Serves the Elder One
I understand why you can't
more
respond, but it
powerful
is.
Than the Maker. No one challenges him and lives.
He's not more powerful than the Maker. The Maker is more than likely lyrium. Red lyrium is a disease that's killing it.
I promise, I will do everything in my power to set things right.
Our only hope is to find the amulet that Alexius used to send us here. If it still exists, I can use it to reopen the rift at the exact spot we left. Maybe.
Good.
I said, maybe. It might also turn us into paste.
You must try.
Well,
Your spy master, Leliana. She is here.
it's either we do that or sit down and die. I prefer to try going out. There we go. And Corypheus isn't that powerful.
Infection. Maker, why is it coming out of the walls?
Are you sure you want to find out?
Because red lyrium is an infection of lyrium, and lyrium is alive.
Let's not stop till these bastards are lying in their own innards.
I almost feel nostalgic.
Good, feel nostalgic.
Might be stuff we can use around here.
Hey, Sarah, open this for me. That's what I wasn't seeing. Damn. But seriously, if it's actually what was that mainly?
Makes me sick what they do to the priests.
Man, that hurt.
How did the dwarf learn of the sacrifice at the temple? Answer me! You will break.
You will die first. Or you will.
Liliana's still a badass.
You're alive.
You're safe now.
Forget safe. If you came back from the dead, you need to do better than safe. You need to end this. Do you have weapons? Good. The Magister's probably in his chambers.
You aren't curious how we got here?
No.
Alexius sent us into the future. This, his victory, his Elder One, it was never meant to be.
I'm so sorry for everything you suffered.
We have to reverse his spell. If we can get back to our present time, we can prevent this future from ever happening.
And mages always wonder why people fear them. No one should have this power.
It's dangerous and unpredictable. Before the breach, nothing we did.
Enough. This is all pretend to you. Some future you hope will never exist. I suffered. The whole world suffered. It was real.
Because of Corypheus.
What happened while we were away?
Stop talking.
I'm just asking for information.
No, you're talking to fill silence. Nothing happened that you want to hear.
Yeah, but it may help prevent this future. That's useful information.
We need to find Alexius. I'm sure he'll be in the nicer part of the castle, if there is one.
Goodbye!
Allow me to break this. Allow me to break this. Break it. Yeah. Die, die, die. I'm actually taking lots of damage now. I wasn't taking damage. Oh well. I can make up for it for other things. Eventually. So that's it. Got it.
The Magister needs more power for his rituals.
No! Let me, Linnea.
Come.
This is madness. Alexius can't have wanted this.
Some people just want to watch the world burn if they can't have what they want.
The breach! It's
everywhere.
I've forgotten what the sky was like before.
No, press F instead of clicking on it. Magic isn't good, magic isn't bad. Magic just is. It's like in a lot of games like Spellforce 3. Magic wasn't considered bad, it was considered... well, it just was considered magic. However, the way you use magic was definitely viewed. Some people used magic for evil, some used it for good. I really want them to make that game a bit better. I wonder if they fixed all the issues yet.
I am not a child! No!
Why did he do that? We could have helped him.
We will help him by making sure this never happens. He resisted that demon to the last.
So Felix has poison from Darkspawn. Well, that makes things a bit more in perspective now.
What became of Felix? Do you know?
Yes, I know.
And you're not going to tell me?
You'll find out soon enough.
Find the way to Alexius's throne. Let me get some better amulets and shit. I need constitution rings. Venatori. This is what you get.
Andraste's name is that? Hold on to it. I want to look at it later.
The main hall is that way. I'm sure that's where Alexius is hiding.
I'm not gonna have enough room.
They're distracted, worshipping their Elder One. Take them down before they see us.
Doesn't look like the Elder One is interested in saving his followers.
Corypheus? Corypheus doesn't give a shit about people. Okay, give me a second. Said climb. People wonder why I hate people. That's just a supply cache. Over there.
How much damage did Alexius' spell do?
Rifts tore apart all of southern Thedas, starting here. But whether that's his doing or the breach, who can say?
Probably a bit of both. Move. We'll kill everyone. Don't worry, Liliana.
Want to climb up and shoot them in the arse from above?
Go ahead if you want to. I'm just going to kill everyone. Nothing to work for me.
Aren't you cute in your little pool of guts?
But I don't have a little pool of guts. I have dead Venatori. But no little pool of guts. Also, trying to save someone who's basically already dead is foolhardy. There is a method that could help him. Turning him into a Grey Warden. It's not exactly something his dad would have liked. Oh, he's a Grey Warden now. Let's see if there's anything up there, and then I'll leave. I really need to start getting Guard Maker, but that can happen after that.
What happened here?
Somebody had very questionable taste.
Agreed.
Try to take out that enchanter quickly.
Okay, he's dead.
Coming up the stairs! Let's head back to the main hall. I think I know how we'll open the door. I could really go for some light reading.
Heal up, everyone. Resupply. Open this goddamn door. Look around. See nothing to do over there. The only thing I can do is up here, isn't it? Alright, let's save.
I was worried I'd have to search the whole castle for you, Alexius.
There's no longer anywhere to run. I knew you would appear again. Not that it would be now, but I knew I hadn't destroyed you. My final failure.
Was it worth it? Everything you did to the world, to yourself.
It doesn't matter now. All we can do is wait for the end.
What do you mean? What's ending?
The irony that you should appear now, of all the possibilities. All that I fought for, all that I betrayed, and what have I wrought? Ruin and death, that is nothing else. The Elder One comes for me, for you, for us all. Felix.
That's Felix. Maker's breath, Alexius, what have you done?
He would have died, Dorian. I saved him. Please, don't hurt my son. I'll do anything you ask.
Hand over the amulet and we let him go.
Let him go and I swear you'll get what you want.
I want the world back.
No!
I gave the world to
Yeah, I know of your idiocy. Can you stop running, boy? No, it's not. Ow. That was pretty good too. You know what? Maybe I should get that. Maybe I should get some lightning. Don't think I'm gonna make it. Tell me again how you're going to.
He wanted to die, didn't he? All those lies he told himself, the justifications. He lost Felix long ago. Didn't even notice. Oh, Alexius.
This Alexius was too far gone. But the Alexius in our time might still be reasoned with.
I suppose that's true. This is the same amulet he used before. I think it's the same one we made in Minrathous. That's a relief. Give me an hour to work out the spell he used, and I should be able to reopen the rift.
An hour? That's impossible! You must go now!
There's a reason they won. We'll go on ahead. Take out as many as we can. Liliana, you're the last line of defense. Give them what you've got.
We'll make this count.
The only way we live is if this day never comes. Cast your spell. You have as much time as I have hours.
The Elder One. Also known as Corypheus. Fucking Corypheus. Fuck him.
Though darkness closes, I am shielded by flame.
Welcome back, by the way.
Andraste, guide me. Maker, take me to your side.
You move, and we all die!
Liliana's tough as fuck. Don't worry about her.
You'll have to do better than that.
Put aside all claim to Redcliffe, and we let you live.
You won. There is no point extending this charade. Felix.
It's going to be all right, Father.
You'll die.
Everyone dies.
Well, it maybe he does need more butter. You ever thought about that?
I'm glad that's over with.
Ah, butter. Butter.
Or not.
Grand Enchanter, we'd like to discuss your abuse of our hospitality.
Your Majesties.
When we offered the Mage's Sanctuary, we did not give them the right to drive our people from their homes.
King Alistair, Queen Anora, I assure you, we never intended...
In light of your actions, good intentions are no longer enough.
You and your followers have worn out your welcome. Leave Ferelden, or we'll be forced to make you leave.
But we have hundreds who need protection. Where will we go?
The Inquisition might be willing to take in the mages.
And what are the terms of this arrangement?
Hopefully better than what Alexius gave you. The Inquisition is better than that, yes?
No one fights well for their captors.
After this, stick them up a tower.
It seems we have little choice but to accept whatever you offer.
Dorian, psh.
We would be honored to have you fight as allies at the Inquisition's side.
A generous offer. But will the rest of the Inquisition honor it?
The breach threatens all of Thedas. We cannot afford to be divided now. We can't fight it without you. Any chance of success requires your full support.
It's a generous offer. I doubt you're going to get a better one from us.
We accept. It would be madness not to. I will gather my people and ready them for the journey to Haven. The breach will be closed. You will not regret giving us this chance.
No matter what, you're pissing someone off in this game. It's a give and take. Plus, the mages are technically needed. Technically. I'm about to go to Skyhold, aren't I?
It's not a matter for debate. There will be abominations among the mages, and we must be prepared.
If we rescind the offer of an alliance, it makes the Inquisition appear incompetent at best, tyrannical at worst.
What were you thinking, turning mages loose with no oversight? The veil is torn open.
We need them to close the breach. It's not going to work if we make enemies of them.
I know we need them for the breach, but they could do as much damage as the demons themselves.
Enough arguing. None of us were there. We cannot afford to second-guess our people. The sole point of the Herald's mission was to gain the mage's aid, and that was accomplished.
The voice of pragmatism speaks. And here I was, just starting to enjoy the circular arguments.
Closing the breach is all that matters.
Closing the breach will require a lot of magic, and that means lyrium. I have contacts who can help.
Contacts meaning smugglers? Send them word. We need every advantage.
We have legitimate lyrium supply lines already.
And they don't need to hear of this.
Keep it under the table, and I'll do what I can to quiet rumors.
We should look into the things you saw in this dark future. The assassination of Empress Celine. A demon army.
Sounds like something a Tevinter cult might do. Orlais falls, the Imperium rises. Chaos for everyone.
One battle at a time. It's going to take time to organize our troops and the mage recruits. Let's take this to the war room. Join us. None of this means anything without your mark, after all.
There goes my nap.
Thank you. I'd be honored to help with the plan.
Meet us there when you're ready.
I'll skip the War Council, but I would like to see this breach up close, if you don't mind.
Then you're staying?
Oh, didn't I mention? The South is so charming and rustic. I adore it to little pieces.
There's no one I'd rather be stranded in time with, future or present.
Excellent choice. But let's not get stranded again anytime soon, yes?
I'll begin preparations to march on the summit.
Sorry, I always love that comment. By the way, I know how to make a lot of really good stuff. I cook all the time. Okay, where the fuck's Dorian?
The Inquisition appreciates your assistance in this matter, Lady Corbin.
And my miners appreciate your business. You'll have your lyrium by the end of the week. I should tell you, Ambassador, the Chantry raised some fuss when they learned about our arrangement.
The Inquisition must certainly seem an audacious idea to the Grand Clerics. We hope to convince them it is a necessary one as well.
I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who was she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's mages. According to Lady Corbin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
Everything raises the ire of the Chantry.
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We are becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power, instead of comforting the masses.
Mage circles started falling years ago. The Chantry was troubled even before the Divine's murder.
Yet many people continue to bear it great love. We will not benefit from its decline. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevarra, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has
You
the
can love
Chantry
whatever you
truly
want.
promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
Are you sure? Families often fight the hardest.
Having grown up among four siblings, I concede your point. I found, however, that the only time two parties cannot negotiate is when they cease to speak. We must learn to think beyond our own wants, to secure peace in Thedas.
How did someone so lovely and selfless go into Arlesian politics, Lady Montpellier?
Well, that is, really, you give me too much credit. While you're here, I do have a question.
I'm straight.
The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
Will my answer change your reply to the Chantry?
If Leliana, Cassandra, Cullen, and I could agree on our official stance, I could answer that. We should decide soon. The revered mothers don't seem to know what to make of you.
I don't know if a miracle from Andraste saved me any more than they do.
Yet as rumors your Andraste's herald grow, the Grand Clerics may not believe such a humble reply. A difficult situation, and I thank you for your answer. A good day to you.
Well, I'm a guy. An old fart. At least I feel that way.
What may I do for you?
What do the...
We've gathered many favors among the...
Damn straight we've gathered many.
If you find anything, please bring it in. You've brought back some fascinating things. We're putting them to good use. Yeah, I may be, at the least, some materials. Thank...
I understand you were instrumental. It is well done. And I pray this Inquisition fares better than
I
the
am,
Chantry in its
what,
handling of magic.
28? Yeah, I think I'm 28 this year. I mean, last year.
Try.
In some ways, magic should serve me. But it does... Once you have sealed the breach, we shall see...
Farewell.
Make her go...
My only goal is to make sure that the suffering ends.
If Fiona and her malcontents are joining us as allies, we need to be prepared. Cullen doesn't have enough Templars to handle incidents. Some of the rank and file need to be trained.
Train our people, but keep it a secret. Let the mages think they're not being watched.
I like the way you think, darling. I'll have a word with Cullen. We are reliant on his people. There has never been a greater threat to mages than the breach. Until it is closed, no one is safe.
When you say mages are a...
Of course I am, my dear. Every mage who joins... Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
You're preaching to the quan...
Tell me something. You said once that you wanted to change things. What future would you build for mages?
The circle has to be restored.
That's comforting to hear. It's... Yes?
No, the circle does need to be restored. However, there are going to be changes to the circle. That is my goal. I want the circle, in all places, to be a place where mages can learn, do what they want, do it, not everything they want, as you can imagine, but, and the Templars are there to protect them from any and all. They work with them, not against them. That is what I want to change. I want to make the towers a safe place for mages, a place of study and learning for the mages. What it should have always been, a safe haven. Nothing more, nothing less.
Mages. Lovely.
They should have this breach sealed soon enough.
Mages are very useful in various matters.
Well as anyone else's.
It seems Blackwall knows nothing about the disappearance. I am, however, glad. He seems to be a good man. As for the other wardens, I suppose we will have to keep looking.
In Redcliffe, you sacrificed yourself so that I could return here.
Of course I did. One small life in exchange for a second chance at history. I always loved a bargain.
It was still a sacrifice, and still noble.
And I would do it again.
I'll leave.
Cedric said the blankets weren't worth selling. He's giving them big position for free.
That, and he said people who freeze to death don't spend much coin.
The Mage Rebellion joins the Inquisition. I've got to admit that's a twist I didn't see coming.
Well,
one thing you saw in the future worries me. I mean, it was all bad. But Red Lyrium and Ferelden, infecting people and growing out of them, that's bad.
Yeah.
Finding more of it really punches a hole in my Red Lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
Now, then it can't be gay if you're a woman, by the way. Sorry.
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
We can't leave a single piece of that lyrium out in the wild.
I'm with you on that. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
That's a good point. We should celebrate. A banquet. Something like a banquet.
Word to Josephine, and I bet she could arrange anything. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure... Need something?
I want to know...
I'll tell you what I can.
Doing the side quests will do more than any of the dialogue can ever do to you. But I wonder if there's a way I can edit people's, yeah. See, the main issue with... It's the way people treat mages. Well, I'm 28 with a beard. I'm 6 feet tall.
You right away.
The Master Thren, she has my thanks.
Your thanks and a good drink would go...
Oh, Make, are you him? And you were sent to remind us that we failed to support the dwarves when the Darkspawn attacked. I think dwarves are very respectable. I mean, I'm Flissa. Can I get you a drink?
It's all right, Flissa. I won't do anything frightening.
If you wanted to close the breach. As I said, I'm Flissa. The Inquisition soldiers needed a... nothing fancy. But it's safer for the soldiers than looking for trouble in some village.
You said Liliana asked you to run an Inquisition tavern. How did you meet?
Dumb luck, mainly. I managed an inn back in Denerim. When I heard interesting gossip, I'd pass word to Liliana. Sometimes it was helpful. She asked if I wanted to own my own
Well,
tavern, and I
then
said
you're
yes.
bi.
I didn't realize.
I'm straight.
What can you tell me about this area?
So,
Adarn is Haven's apothecary.
I have
He's
a
been making
beard.
potions
I'm trying to
and
get a
tending to
nice
wounded
gentleman's beard done, but trying to do it on my own without
Whatever
having
you
the
can
look
make
on my
you friend
face
the
first
Quartermaster can
is
find.
difficult
And for anything fancier, you
to
can try buying from
replicate.
Cedric. His prices aren't too high. Yet. Oh, there's also my knave. She studies beasts. Goodbye.
Well, that's mages all over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curtains. I'll just be the other side of Haven, just in case.
You expected something else?
We needed? No, pretty sure that... I mean, yay, freedom. Great for them. Over there, away from me.
I'll be back.
Go on.
So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel? Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
Yeah, I know who Seamus is.
Dorian was sure. Impossible as it seems.
What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witnessed.
I'm surprised you're not more interested in your own future.
I know enough. If that future happened, then I and Cassandra, speaking of which... This Elder One, and a being...
Damn it.
How can I help?
We'll talk.
Goodbye.
Solus is pretty simple.
You just keep the... You're back. And in one piece.
I don't mind Solus. My issue with Solus isn't the fact of...
The Inquisition supports
My
free
issue with
mages.
Solus is he's so fucking nitpicky with
Elves
shit.
running Halamsharal? Cows milking farmers?
Give me time. I'm sure I'll surprise you.
I suspect that's untrue. Unless you strip yourself naked and allow the Chantry to flog you into repentance. Now that would surprise me. I do wonder if you've considered what this support of yours will do. For mages in general, I mean. The Inquisition is seen as an authority. You've given southern mages license to, well, be like mages back home.
If that means they're anything like you,
Ha! There aren't many mages.
I'd believe that.
I never fit in. Bloodstained.
So we're doomed to a future of blood magic?
Not at first. But you'd be a fool not to. Thing is, the Imperium was once just like the South. Templars, proper circles, all that rot. Not that this is reason to oppress us. Still, my homeland should be a cautionary tale, not a source of inspiration.
Have you gone to see Alexius yet? He's in the cells.
Not yet, no. I saw him before they locked him up. He looked... I suppose the Inquisition will judge him eventually. He hardly deserves it, but for Felix's sake. A little bird told me you were part of the Carter Inquisitor.
A little bird?
Well, a big bird. A big, indiscreet bird who was drunk at the time.
What you heard was true. I was once part of the Carta.
Not any longer. Too bad. They're an excellent source of cheap contraband. Back home, you see dwarves everywhere. And not just from the Ambassadoria. Rather odd how in the South, everyone thinks of dwarves as merchants. Limited view, in my opinion. Maybe you'll change that. In the future, one will hear dwarf and think Messiah. Down with stereotypes.
It occurs to me that I
Dorian's
know
funny,
anything
though.
about you.
Beyond my being a mage from...
Beyond that.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
I'm well aware of your finer quality.
Of course I believe you. The moment I saw you, I thought, now, I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding.
The hell? Where did she come from?
Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
What did you mean by generations of careful breeding?
The great families of Tevinter don't have children. They refine traits, weed out the undesirable, and promote the rest.
The issue with Solus is like super nitpicky. Now, I'm not in favor of free mages. I'm in favor of mages that are free in circles. There's a bit of a difference.
A cautionary tale that you should be careful what you wish for.
Like, I think that they should be in the circles working with the Templars. Like, it should be a conjoined effort between the two to make the world better for man. And that's that. And yes, I'm a bit of an idealist when it comes to that.
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see?
I'm getting the impression you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier. We pretend the Qunari can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
It just seems so much of what you say about the Imperium is entirely negative.
It might sound that way, For all our faults, my people have many virtues. We are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where Thedas truly began, remember? We treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built during the modern ages. And despite appearances, we care deeply about everything. We have no reserve, not in war and not in love. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
Why remain with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Tevinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm.
Mine do.
I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some magisters would disagree, but that's why we kill them.
I think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
I'd like to ask you...
Ah, yes, everyone outside the Imperium. Probably why they come up with so many ridiculous tales. Flying cows over Minrathous. It's madness. All right, that one's actually true, but the cows didn't have wings. I digress. Anything in particular
But the cows didn't have wings.
Just how often is blood magic used there?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all.
That's what any magister would tell you. They'd be convincingly offended by the notion too. Of course, what people call blood magic here, and what we consider blood magic, are two different things.
What's considered actual blood magic in Tevinter?
Blood magic isn't inherently dangerous. Using your own blood or that of a willing participant, what's the harm? The problem is that what's permitted only gets you so much power. And what if you need more? You always need more. That's where we get into sacrifices and demon summoning. None of that is done. Not officially.
And they can't hurt themselves. The Templars and the mages should work in conjunction with each other. The Templars are there to protect the mages. So, like my plan from the bottom up is, when a mage applicant is brought into the circle, you know what you do? You assign a Templar to it. That Templar is the one who guards them, who protects them, who gets to know them, who shows them things. They'll have teacher and shit. But that's the point.
You'd think the Templars would object.
I imagine they did, long ago. Once, their investigations might have been sincere. Then their balls were cut off. Too inconvenient. Nowadays, only the friendless are accused. Most of them probably innocent.
There must be some mages who oppose this.
Of course.
So you get it to where the mages and the Templars work in conjunction for the research and all of that stuff. So the Templars are there to protect the mages who accidentally turn into abominations by killing them, or to get rid of mages that are trying to harm the circle itself. That is all that the Templars would be used for. Other than that, the Templars are there to assist the mages when they're doing spells and researches to help ensure their safety.
Anyone who talks about the Imperium mentions slavery. It's the center of the slave trade.
Ah, that is true.
And did you have slaves?
Not personally, but my family does and treats them well. Honestly, I never thought much about it until I came south. Back home, it's how it is. Slaves are everywhere. You don't question it. I'm not even certain many slaves do.
You think slaves like it that way? Don't be ridiculous.
I didn't say they like it. It's all most of them know. In the south, you have alienages, slums, both human and elven. The desperate have no way out. Back home, a poor man can sell himself. As a slave, he could have a position of respect, comfort, and could even support a family. Some slaves are treated poorly, it's true. But do you honestly think inescapable poverty is better?
I suppose not, no.
I don't know what it's like to be a slave, true. I never thought about it until I saw how different it was here. But I suspect you don't know either. Nor should you believe that every tale of Tevinter excess is the norm.
True.
It seems strange that an entire empire would be ruled by mages.
Now,
I find it
See,
strange
I'm an
that your
idealist when
mages
it comes
don't
to
rule
things,
anything at
because
all.
I think there's a balance in everything.
Actually,
There
the
always
fiction of the
is, and it's
Imperium
something
is
that people
mages
don't look.
rule. The Magisterium rules. That magisters are all mages is considered a convenient technicality.
What is the Magisterium, exactly?
The upper house of the Imperial Senate, and the only part worth having a seat on. Those seats are split among the circles of Magi, the Chantry, and the major families. All mages now. It's odd that outside the Imperium, you use Magister like it applies to every Tevinter mage.
If you're not a Magister, then what are you called? No special title?
I'm an Altus, which is almost as good as a Magister, depending on who you ask.
I've never heard of an Altus.
Upper class. Those families who trace descent from the Dreamers, the first prophets of the old gods. If you're a mage and you're not Altus, then you're later. Lower class. If you're not a mage at all, you're Soperati. That's everyone else. We do love our fancy words.
We do love our fancy words.
I thought the Archon ruled over the Imperium.
Well, yes. Technically, he can overrule laws passed by the Magisterium, but that never happens. Even so, he gets to appoint new Magisters, which means all the families vie madly for his favor. Thus, the Archon gets invited to all the parties. The truest path to Tevinter influence, let me tell you.
If it's a fiction, that means mages do...
Yes, let me put it this way. Mages do rule, but not all mages are equal. If you're not from the right family, chances are you don't rule anything. Maybe you're even a slave. The idea that anyone could be a mage, however, keeps the masses placated.
Can anyone be a mage?
Technically, the potential runs mostly in bloodlines, but it's been known to happen. More importantly, commoners believe it can. Tevinter legend is chock full of mage heroes from humble origins. So they hold out hope. Someday my son or my son's son will be a mage. Someday. Poor sods don't realize that means he'll be a quaestor at the arse end of the 100 Pillars, at best.
Being a quaestor isn't a good thing?
I imagine the average non-mage likes to think so. Counting numbers and shuffling papers all day is better than many occupations after all. If you're a second-class citizen among a pack of piranha, however, your outlook changes.
But let me ask you something else.
Of course.
There's an Imperial Chantry, isn't there? With its own divine?
You people aren't supposed to talk about the Black Divine, are you? If you mention him outside the Imperium, people make that face, like you're urinating in public. But yes, we do have the Chantry, or a version of it. Night and day comparing it to yours.
Is the Imperial Chantry so different from ours?
Not in theory. The main difference is in the whole magic is meant to serve man, not rule over him business. Back home, ruling the unwashed masses is serving them, for the good of the Imperium. Perhaps it started with good intentions, but these days it's academic. The circles are in command.
There are circles of magi in the Imperium?
We don't have dismal little mage prisons, if that's what you mean. They're academies, prestigious ones. We have Templars as well, but they don't cancel spells or whatever your Templars do. They're soldiers. They watch for abuse of magic, yes, but only those who are weak or who fall out of favor get dealt with. Mostly they enforce the Magisterium's edicts. The Chantry smiles and nods from the sidelines.
Do you really call him the Black Divine?
We don't call him that, oh no. In the Imperium, he's the true divine. The woman sitting on the Sunburst throne is some backwater pretender. It all stems from a disagreement over Andraste. Marvelous, isn't it?
Why would they disagree over Andraste?
It's not my field of expertise, but the Imperium believes Andraste was a mortal woman, a mage. Down south, they say, no, she's the bride of the Maker, ascended to his side, divine provenance, a blah blah blah. We feel better believing Andraste was one of us. Makes executing her less damning, you see. So we elected a man as divine, the South declared war, and we've been feuding cousins ever since.
Well, technically she was a mage, but...
So the Imperial Divine is always a man?
All the better to distinguish him from that other one, yes. Don't think there aren't a number of female magisters who bristle at that. Why can't they be divine after all? Same reason you never see a man on the Sunburst throne. Because that's how it's always been done. Excellent reasoning.
I love the if I can speak, condescending tone in his voice.
Do you consider yourself Andrastian?
Excellent reason.
Big question.
Agree. That's because how it's always
surprise you that I do consider myself Andrastian. I simply do not believe in the Chantry. It is a relic, whether back home or here in the south. Something from a bygone age desperately clinging to relevance. It's not an opinion that makes me popular.
I share your opinion, actually.
That's not surprising, considering what the Inquisition represents. I'll say this.
In me.
You are what we needed most at the moment we needed it. That's what they will say in ages to come.
That's true. I feel the same.
I
was just agreeing with you.
Don't agree on my account. Me? I've seen the world is big. The Maker doesn't need me to believe. So many questions.
I'm wondering if the...
I'd think you'd be more concerned whether or not they won't. At least, not officially. Secretly, many Magisters will rejoice at the idea. And if the South falls to chaos in the
it would be in the Imperium's best interest to help.
I think the Imperium gave up on the idea of allies. We've been fighting the Qunari for what? 200 years off and on? They'll sneer at the South behind their silk handkerchiefs and say, "You've had it easy for far too long." Let's not forget that the Inquisition seems to be an arm of the Orlesian Chantry. Anathema so far as they're concerned.
We're not part of the Chantry. The Chantry
You think that matters? The Herald of Andraste. Your very title smacks of the Southern Chantry. You may as well... I think they're far more frightened what you'll do if you succeed.
That's...
Fair enough.
I should...
Something you need?
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule.
Yeah, sometimes my tongue does not work properly when I try to speak, especially if I haven't gotten enough sleep. And then I just go to vent my annoyance. Personally, I think the main issue is that
the mages are ready to approach the breach. I pray this will be enough to close it.
I know you're worried about having the mages here.
I'm not questioning their ability or their intention. I will not endanger the alliance you've created. We need that. Any precautions taken will be to ensure the safety of our people and the mages themselves. Nothing more.
And what are we supposed to do, exactly?
What you always do. Complain.
We've already spoken with Commander Cullen. No one listens. We want better quarters. We want the Templars kept at a distance. And some respect for...
This is not the Circle. You mages are our allies, not our wards. Act like it.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with... It never ends, evidently.
You don't need to tell me that.
I just don't know who told them I'm the one to yell at.
Is it that bad?
The mages are here as equals. They need to get used to what that means. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
I had to think on my feet, and I did what I could.
Oh. I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't
deal
disapprove.
with it. I
In
know, I'm
fact,
kind of the
you
same
did
way.
well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
You're flattering me.
I'm not. This always happens. Nobody ever takes my meaning.
You should see your face.
I'm thinking less flattering things now. Let's hope the breach has your sense of humor.
I love messing with her. It's funny.
Yes?
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised? I would prefer...
These truths the Maker has revealed to me. As there is but one God, one life, one death. There is
So,
one God.
that Tevinter guy sent you into the future?
I've got no problem with normal magic, but Tevinter goes beyond all reason.
I know, right? The Vints are always pushing. Anyway, I hope our new friends have what it takes
Nah,
to close the breach.
Josephine is my
Damn thing gives me a
waifu.
headache just looking at it. How's it going? See ya.
No. Some Vints go way beyond reason. It's true.
Smithing is...
That's everyone, isn't it? Yep.
Here, have something to drink.
I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that need... You didn't have to take the time to help me. And yet you did.
If the history you pursue benefits the Wardens.
I've never been more certain of my decision to join you.
There will be opportunities for us to do...
Then I look forward to it.
The main issue with how everything goes isn't the way things are. It's with the way people are treated. Most of the mages got treated poorly. There were some really bad, really bad ones. Yes, but there were some really good ones too. And that's just the issue. See, one of the huge issues, in my opinion.
Nice work at Redcliffe. I could help the mages learn to work with Inquisition soldiers if you like. Not that the chief has any apostates in the group.
I'd go, sure. Mages actually could be very useful. Think about the ways that they can be useful. And they go, oh, how? Learning how to cure almost incurable diseases. Figuring out how the Darkspawn taint actually works. Think about it. It could be more useful than that. Darkspawn. How to remove Darkspawn taint from people. And so on. Do you know how useful they could be? For the Grey Wardens, for us, for all the things we could figure out together, if we worked together. My goal isn't to free them, my goal is to make them more useful than they are now. And to give them better conditions. That is all I want. You can only push people so far before they break.
My scouts are posted on the ridges in case there's any trouble.
Oh, well, I'm at the Battle of Haven. Wait, what? No. Give me a sec, I'm gonna load. Well, I'll put it to you like this. There was a mage in The Witcher 3 that was a mage of cheese. He studied cheeses. I'm not even kidding. He actually studied cheeses. It's the funniest thing. Finally, deft hands, fine tools. I'll be back. Why so many saves? Because I make a lot of decisions. And it's a habit of mine. I play a lot of games where the games will either A, crash or fuck up or, you know. So for me, it's my goal to preserve as much data. Because I can go into a game, play it for like 5 hours straight. And yeah. By the way, if you really, really want something, if you really, really love cheese, I live in Wisconsin. We're a land of cheese. Cheese. And beer. And milk. And really fatty foods. Wisconsin. Nothing like beer battered deep fried cheese curds. They're tasty. Very tasty.
Master Dennett's horses are a fine addition to our stables. I will see they are well tended.
Have you ever had 15-year-old sharp cheddar? It's delicious. 15-year-old aged sharp cheddar. Smooth and delicious. $15-year-old? Boy, no. Why not? It was cheddar. Sharp cheddar. It's delicious. As cheese ages, it gets more of a refined taste. So its taste becomes greater and greater. So think of sharp cheddar. Any type of sharp cheddar you've had, and amplify that taste. And then also make it so it crumbles, and it gets a lot like a smooth velvety texture when you eat it, and it melts in your mouth. Think of that. That's what it does. It just crumbles. Nope, I'm actually gonna have to go buy myself some really expensive cheese at some point. No, it's not. It's delicious. Well, there's not really much else I can do. Oh wait, yes there is. There actually is a whole area I can do.
Nothing yet.
Now, if you really want something interesting, there's actually one area I have to go to first. I have to get in here. How do I get in here? I have to travel from here, don't I? Any way to get in? It's not too strong. It's delicious. You'll have to trust me on this. It really is that good. It will make you just go. Charge. Speaking of food, I'm gonna have to go eat some more pizza at some point soon. Ah, nothing like a good 4-cheese pizza. Damn it, that'll be the last of it. Guess I can make tuna sandwiches. But, oh, that's not oh well.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Also, trust me, it's not that strong. If you... Have you ever had deep fried mozzarella sticks? Cheese. It really depends on the quality of the pizza, though. If it's a good quality pizza, I prefer cheese, sausage. Sausage is one of my favorites.
The history of the Grey Wardens is fascinating.
Have you ever had cheese curds? Deep fried cheese curds? Cheese curds. C-U-R-D. cheese curds. It's a Wisconsin thing. They're delicious. Think of deep fried mozzarella sticks, but tastier. It's white. It's a white cheese, and it's goddamn delicious. What it is goddamn fucking delicious.
Excellent.
Oh, they're delicious. If you really want to go try some damn good things, go up to Wisconsin. We have a lot of good places up here for food. Food. Ah. Man, I'm hungry. Preferably, though, I like deep dish pizza. Having a good deep dish pizza is delicious. And someone's calling me. Give me a sec.
What do you mean?
Good day.
Blessings upon the Inquisition. Greetings, traveler.
Good day to you.
Researcher Nene believes these notes could assist.
you need anything more? Mother.
Sorry about that. Wasn't sure if one of my friends was going to be able to come over today or not, and it looks like he is. So I have to go take a shower and end my stream and get ready for that. So, sorry for the short-ish stream today. Thank you all for coming. Hope you had fun talking and hanging out and watching me just eat this game alive, because I do that with games. Rawr. Rawr. And see you all later. By the way, I do have a Discord in the About Me section of my YouTube channel. There's a link to it if you want to talk to me on Discord. Later all.